Dionne Warwick, one of the greatest vocalists in music history, lived a life filled with challenges and successes, along with deep joys and sorrows. As one of the most prominent singers of the 20th century, with a series of hits that made her name, Dionne Warwick's life and career were not without important turning points. However, if you look back at her life, there will be a deep sadness that Dionne Warwick cannot forget. A sadness that has affected many aspects of her life, from her career to her love, marriage, and family. Let's learn about the life and career of this special woman through the timeline, with a clear look at her achievements, challenges, and the stories behind her immortal songs. The greatest sadness of her life for Dionne Warwick, one of the greatest sorrows in her life, is the loss of loved ones, especially the passing of her mother, Lee, who has always accompanied and supported her throughout her musical journey. Lee Warwick, a strong woman, was a great source of encouragement for Dionne in the early years of her career. Their relationship was not only that of a mother and daughter, but also of friendship and unconditional support in every big and small decision of Dionne. When Dionne's mother passed away in 2002, a part of her heart was lost. She once shared that losing her mother was the greatest shock of her life, an irreparable pain. Dionne had always considered her mother as her most important friend and mentor in her career, and Lee's passing made her feel like she had lost a part of herself. In addition to the loss of her mother, another sadness that deeply affected Dionne Warwick was her divorce from William Elliott. They were married in 1966, but after only a year, they decided to separate. Dionne Warwick once admitted that this divorce left a deep wound in her heart, and although she had other relationships later, the breakup in love was an indelible part of her life. This sadness was not only the loss of love, but also the end of an important part of her life's journey. Dionne Warwick, born in 1940 in East Orange, New Jersey, is one of America's leading singers and artists with a distinctive style in the pop and soul genres. She entered the music industry very early, but it was when she met the songwriting duo Burt Bacharach and Hal David that her career really took off. With her distinctive soulful voice and masterful technique, Dionne Warwick quickly became a big name, not only in the United States, but also around the world. Since the 1960s, she has made a strong mark on the international music scene with a series of hits, including timeless songs such as Walk On By, I Say a Little Prayer, Do You Know the Way to San Jose, and Alfie. She is known as one of the first artists to bring soul music to mainstream pop, combining elements of jazz and R&B in her music. Dionne Warwick's songs not only stand out for their catchy melodies, but also for their sophisticated, profound lyrics, making her one of the most beloved singers in both the United States and the United Kingdom. Dionne Warwick's musical career spans several decades, from the 1960s to the present, and she has been honored with a series of prestigious awards, including 5 Grammy Awards. She is one of the most influential female artists of the 20th century, and continues to influence artists of the future. Dionne Warwick is also recognized for her contributions to other fields such as acting and philanthropy. Dionne Warwick has achieved many significant achievements throughout her musical career. She is known as one of the best-selling singers of all time, with over 100 million records sold worldwide. Her hits, such as Walk On By, Anyone Who Had a Heart, and I Say a Little Prayer, have become not only musical icons, but also timeless favorites across generations. She is also one of the longest-running artists in the music industry, and Dionne Warwick was one of the first to be inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame, recognizing her invaluable contributions to the world of music. In particular, the songs she sang under the compositions of Burt Bacharach and Hal David not only changed the landscape of pop music, but also created an indelible mark on the history of 20th century music. In addition to her success in music, Dionne Warwick is also active in charity organizations. She participates in many international charity campaigns, especially in the field of supporting HIV/AIDS patients, an issue close to her heart due to the losses of family and friends. The combination of music and humanitarian activities has made her a role model for the next generation of artists. Dionne Warwick is not only a great artist, but also a loving mother. She has 2 children, a son named David Elliott and a daughter named Dionne Warwick. Although her music career has taken her everywhere and left her little time for her family, Dionne has always paid special attention to her children. They are her greatest comfort when she feels lonely and lost, and also a great source of encouragement whenever she experiences sadness. Dionne Warwick once shared that, despite her success in her career, she still feels great sadness when she cannot spend much time with her family, especially her children. During her years of touring, she often had to leave her home and family behind to perform everywhere, which sometimes made her feel emotionally deprived and lonely. However, despite this, she always did her best to raise her children to become useful people to society. Both David and Delia grew up in a loving environment, and their mother's support was always a great source of motivation for them. David Elliott, Dionne's son, shared in an interview that his mother was a great mother, although she was always busy with work. She never forgot to take time to encourage and support him in every important decision. The two had a very special relationship. Even though Dionne had to travel far to perform, she always made David feel loved through calls and letters. Dionne Warwick, Dionne's daughter, said that although their life was not always easy, because her mother had to travel far for work, Dionne was always a very thoughtful mother, knowing how to care for every little detail in her children's lives. Delia also said that she learned a lot from her mother, especially about strength and perseverance in life. Dionne, even in the most difficult times, always tried to be an example to her children, teaching them the values of love, dedication, and kindness. Both children see their mother as a model of independence, resilience, and boundless love. They also understand that, although their mother is always busy with work, her love for them is irreplaceable. Dionne Warwick's career may have forced her to sacrifice time with her family, but that does not diminish the love she has for her children. Her nurturing has helped David and Delia grow up with good values, and they themselves continue to pass these values on to the next generation. Dionne Warwick's family members are very understanding and share the sadness she has experienced in her life. David Elliott and Dionne Warwick, both adults, are still very insightful when talking about the difficulties their mother faced, especially the loss of their mother Lee Warwick and the painful divorces in her life. David Elliott, in an interview, shared that his mother was a strong but also very sensitive woman. He said, "My mother was not only a music star, but also a great mother and friend. I know that she always wanted to take care of her family, but sometimes she had to face loneliness when performing, especially when she lost her mother, whom she loved very much. It was a great sadness in her life that I can never forget. She was always strong, but I know there were times when she felt a very deep loss." Dionne Warwick also shared the same opinion as her brother. She shared, "My mother always kept a strong exterior, but I know she was very heartbroken when she lost her mother. She was always a wonderful mother, but I found that whenever we were away from her during our tours, she felt a little lonely. However, she always maintained her optimism and resilience, teaching us that no matter what life throws at us, we must always keep going." Both of Dionne Warwick's children acknowledge that their mother had a challenging life, but that did not diminish her love for her family. They also understand that Dionne's music career played a very important role in her life, and although it required her to make many sacrifices, she always loved and cared for them with all her heart. Dionne Warwick was a woman who loved her family deeply, and the greatest sadness in her life, as her children say, was the loss of her loved ones, especially her mother. Dionne Warwick has had an impressive career journey. She began her music career in the 1960s as a promising young artist with a distinctive voice. Although she was born into a musical family, she was the one who made her name and achieved great success in her career. After collaborating with talented musicians such as Burt Bacharach and Hal David, Dionne Warwick's career began to take off. Her hits, such as Walk On By, I Say a Little Prayer, Alfie became classics, making her name not only in the US, but also around the world. Dionne Warwick is not only famous for her emotional voice, but also for her ability to express deep and soulful lyrics. Dionne Warwick's career does not stop at pop and soul hits. She is also known as an artist who can combine many different music genres, from jazz, R&B, to songs with a strong Latin style. Dionne Warwick has made a deep mark in the world music industry and become one of the most successful female singers of all time. She has sold more than 100 million records worldwide and received many prestigious awards, including 5 Grammy Awards.